Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. This is my post-market wrap-up on this Tuesday, May 19th, 2020. A lot of stuff going on here today. We got news from the Fed, news from Congress, news from the President. And the market reacted negatively, interestingly enough, to some of this, but bear with me on this. We're gonna talk. So I would imagine the main thing today that went on is Steve Mnuchin, Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, and Yellowstone himself, Fed Chair Jerome Powell before Congress. It's kind of insane. In fact, it's completely insane. Members of Congress, okay, what are they doing? They're calling for massive amounts of more money printing, epic more debt to be piled on, the Federal Reserve to issue more loans or create more slaves. I mean, in a science fiction movie, you could not script this. It's impossible to do. And Fed Chair Powell himself said, we got your back. All the money you want is going to be available to print out of thin air, buy debt, do whatever you want. And that initially did not boost stocks. I found that interesting. The market struggled all day long. Well, it gets better than that. During this whole thing, we find out that the Federal Reserve, or should I say the Wall Street banks that run the Federal Reserve, are going to be getting a lot more capital directly from the Federal Reserve. So I'm watching all this and I'm listening to what's going on, and I'm like, this is very stock market positive. Okay, why are stocks not rising? Okay, then it gets even better than that. President Trump, I believe it's today, is signing an executive order. Massive deregulation on Wall Street. Well, then I started to put that together as well. So let's do that. So we got here the Federal Reserve promising to recapitalize. I guess they're running out of capital. I don't know. The major banks, the investment banks. And then you got the president signing financial deregulation. So you put one thing together with another, and you can see where this is about to go. Regardless of this market selling off into the close, the Dow fell about 400 points. The fact that the major banks are expecting and will get, do you have any doubt, more capital from the Federal Reserve. And then you got the president signing deregulation. It's a free-for-all. What happened today, a 1-2 punch, is now Wall Street is going to have a literal freak show of a free-for-all. And it gets better than that. Not only are they getting capital from the Federal Reserve, the Wall Street banks, it's being deregulated by the president so they can do whatever they want to, but understand what else is going on here. What this allows is the Wall Street banks, they don't even have to play with their money. They're going to play with yours. They're going to gamble in the market with your money. You can't make this stuff up, people. What are we seeing here? This is a repeat performance of exactly what led up to the last meltdown. Unless, of course, this time it's different. Look, this environment is so twisted. It is so, and it got even more twisted today. It got more twisted today. How many of you out here caught Steve Mnuchin and Yellowstone reading their scripts? They're sitting there reading a script here. They're not even talking. They get asked a question. They're reading a script. It's all fake. It's so in our face, fake, that it really does boggle the mind to a very high level. They honestly believe with all they got that we are all stupid. And I know for a fact that you are not stupid, but they believe that you are here. So let's talk about a couple of other things here. Cryptocurrencies were flat for the day. Gold and silver put on gains. Very, very nice. The 10-year yield not able to hold gains. Now again, let's put this together. Despite the promise of unlimited funds from the Federal Reserve, despite calls from Congress for more debt, for more money printing, for more loans, that alone, again, like I said, should have been stock market positive. And now we got the president with, it's one, and then the second punch, massive deregulation for Wall Street, creating an environment of a free-for-all. It's interesting to me that stocks didn't rally off of that and why the 10-year yield did not go higher. I would expect, as this gets absorbed by the powers that be on Wall Street, and they realize that they are going to have a free-for-all, it can only be one thing, stock market positive. I mean, it's not real. It's not real. But again, every effort imaginable that you can think about, and what we had today is pretty much, I mean, it's pretty incredible. It's all a game to push stocks higher. The president is in on it, quite obviously, signing sweeping deregulation here. The Federal Reserve is more than willing and wants to supply as much capital as is called for by Congress or called for anyone to finish their game that they've been playing for about 100 years, to be the owner of it all. You can't make this stuff up. All right, look, so that pretty much sums up what's going on here. In summary, yet again, stocks finished lower today. The 10-year yield bled off. We got more promises today and calls for vast, and I mean vast, amounts of debt, stimulus from the Federal Reserve. Congress wants more. The president wants negative rates. I mean, the environment is ripe, especially with the president now signing sweeping deregulation by decree. I believe, unless the market is smelling a black swan coming out of left field here, all of you follow this blog, a lot of you are traders, a lot of you follow this market. Doesn't this sound like an environment where stocks would want to rip higher? It does to me. So let's see how this plays out, what goes on here. Look, we have no economy. We're dead in the water. But stocks continue to go higher. And despite today's sell-off, maybe we had to give a little back. Let's put that into perspective before I let you go. 7.5 weeks, this market's pretty much gone straight up. So should we worry about the Dow Jones Industrial Average falling 390 or 400 points today? I don't really think so, especially in light of what we just learned. What we just learned. If I were working right now at a Wall Street bank, okay, I would be like, this is a free-for-all. This is an absolute free-for-all, and more reason for this market to go up. And I would believe that a lot of fund managers are going to feel the same way. So what we are going to do, you and me, is we're going to watch this play out right now. We're going to see how this affects the market over the next, week, 2, 3, whatever. But I can't imagine a more fruitful environment for the stock market. A president who only wants stocks to go up, who's now signing deregulation across the board. A Federal Reserve willing to do whatever it takes, unlimited funds. You tell me, is Greg nuts? Anyway, I know Greg is nuts. I happen to know Greg personally. I really do. All right, look, this guy here loves you a lot. Please share the video. And I want to hear from you. What do you think about this? What do you think about what happened today with Congress, with the Fed, with the Treasury Secretary Mnuchin? Oh, yeah, before I let you go, did you hear about that? Treasury Secretary Mnuchin is saying, oh, we're willing to take losses here, the Federal Reserve and the Treasury. Well, let me explain this to you. Never, ever once in history, ever, has the Federal Reserve lost $1. Not even one single dollar. They can't lose a single dollar ever because they could light it all on fire. All they're going to do is reprint more. They cannot lose. So Steve Mnuchin, who is honestly to me, the man is the biggest liar who probably exists on the face of the earth at this present time, maybe ever in history. He's trying to convince you that, we're willing to take losses here. Really? Steve Mnuchin, not Leisman, because, he's so far up the Kulu of the Federal Reserve, it's not even funny. But Steve, can you please clarify for us out here how the Federal Reserve has never lost a single dollar, but you're telling us now that they're willing to accept losses? How can that possibly happen, Steve Mnuchin? You want to clue us in just a little bit, or you want to tell everyone that you're a liar and that's all you know how to do is lie? I think the guy gets up every day and says, I'm going to set a goal. I'm going to lie 1,000 times today. Let's see if I can hit that goal. All right, long video. I got to get out of here, but I really do want to hear from you. What do you think about all of this? What do you think about what happened today? Has this now gone beyond, or has it gone beyond, freaking beyond? All right, I'm really out of here. Love you a lot.